Good afternoon, class. We will be discussing the second topic of your Unit 3, that is Indian National Congress. Today we are going to study the foundation of Indian National Congress. You all wanted me to help you out with this particular topic, and thus I think that if you have any problem post this lecture, kindly drop me an email so that I can remove any queries or doubts that you have. So let's get started with foundation of Indian National Congress. Now, first and foremost, we have to understand what was the prehistory for the development of Indian National Congress, the foundation of Indian National Congress. Now, post revolt of 1857, we find that suddenly, with the coming of the British Crown has decided that India is now their colony. They're going to act as their benevolent king, benevolent crown, queen or king. Now they decided that they're going to they have opened up in 1861. They have opened up civil service examination for Indians. However, the exam has to be written in Europe and in London, and also there were certain criteria which it was very difficult for any Indian to fulfill, and we would find only very few elites are going to be able to clear the civil service examination. Yet we find that there are a lot of English educated men who are now in the society of India, and who started this idea of development of a national identity and national consciousness. So during 1860s and 70s, the ideas of nationalism and patriotism were much in the air. We were talking about nationalism and patriotism. What is nationalism? What is patriotism? What is a nation? Is India a nation? If India is a nation, then what are the factors of contributing to it? If it is not, then why it is not? So that led to creation of a political consciousness among people, and educated Indians then started creating political formation. However, it was not legalized, and thus they were not able to create an association or a group where like-minded people could come and sit and talk about it, and then discuss further how they are going to then dispense these ideology into the masses. So a number of political associations were established from 1860s to late 1880s and 1870s. Now, some of them were Purna Sarvajanik Sabha, established by M.G. Ranade. Tilak was member of this. G.V. Joshi and S.H. Chiplankar. This was in Bombay. Madras Mahajan Sabha in Madras, Bombay Presidency Association in the Presidency of Bombay, Allahabad's People Association, and the Indian Association of Lahore. In Calcutta, you already have an English East India Society, and also the Zamindar Association, which was a Zamindar association of all the Zamindars of Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. Again, a very elitist body, but what their ideology was to safeguard the ideas of indigenous Zamindars. Now, you had in London, so a lot of Indians are there in London as well. So they also created something called East India Association, which was the main members of this East India Association was Firoz Shah Mehta, Badruddin Tayabchi, Dadabhai Naroji, Manmohan Ghosh. So all of them were part of this. And what are they discussing? They're discussing how Indians should be getting more power in the government, how their ideas should also be listened, and if there are any changes in the laws, then Indians have to be taken into consideration, because they are then going to give an idea of what actually is going to be an impact to it. Now, this concept became very crucial, and this led to creation of in 1876 something called Indian Association, founded in Calcutta. Surendranath Banerjee was its president, and in this he for the first time talked about Hindu-Muslim unity, establishing contact with the masses and generating wider awareness amongst the Indian people regarding the colonial regime, regarding British imperialism. How's it good? How's it bad? By this time, Dadabhai Naroji has already written Drain of Wealth. So all these Indians, educated Indians, are talking about how wealth is going economically. India is getting deprived by the European powers, by this British Raj, which has said that they are going to be a benevolent rulers. So this has created a political consciousness amongst the educated masses of the country. Now, this led to foundation of a group called Indian National Congress. Now, the credit for organizing the first meeting of Indian National Congress goes to AOQ. AOQ was a civil servant. Now, what had started happening is that initially this political consciousness that had developed was curbed by the viceroys, initial viceroys. So we have Lord Lytton, who actually tried to suppress this political association by creating a sort of a policy in which all these associations were not considered to be legalized. However, in 1880s, with coming of Lord Ripon, who argued that we have these English educated Indians have to be given a space where they can channelize their ideology. Otherwise, it is going to result into another revolt that has recently happened. So that's when you have viceroys like Lord Ripon, who talked about creation of a forum where political ideologies of these educated Indians could be heard, is when you have AOQ along with the help of Lord Ripon forming a platform, and in March 1885 it was decided that a conference of Indian National Union, that was the initial name, would be convened at Pune during the Christmas week. So it was a conference. Conference is where people come and discuss their ideas. It was not an organization as such. It later became an organization, but initially it was just a platform where educated Indians from all across the country are going to come and talk about what actually they think about the imperial state, the ideas of governance, and all those things. Now, initially, all the political organization that we have seen were regionalistic in nature. This is going to be a pan-Indian. For the first time, pan-Indian nationalistic conference was to be created. The venue had to be shifted to Bombay because of the outbreak of cholera in Pune, and thus the first meeting was held on 28 December 1885 in Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College, Bombay. It was attended by 100 men, out of whom 72 were non-official and were recognized as the members. W.C. Banerjee of Bengal was the first Congress president. Now, this was then became the norm that the president is not going to be the person who is actually an aborigine of the particular state. So if I'm from Bengal and the conference, the Indian National Congress session is happening in Bengal, then a person from any other place than Bengal is going to be the president of this session. The aims and objective of Congress were defined very clearly by the President. He described the objective as promotion of personal intimacy and friendship amongst the countrymen, eradication of all possible prejudice relating to race, creed, or provinces. So a pan-Indian ideology is going to be created, consolidation of the sentiments of national unity. This is going to be the fundamental feature of Indian National Congress, was to create national unity. Recording of the opinion of educated classes on pressing problems of the day. So all the educated classes are going to talk about the problems that are there in Indian society, laying down lines for future course of action in public interest. In public interest, what is going to be the future course? Now, all of this is going to happen within the ambit of the colonial world. So further, W.C. Banerjee also said that educated Indians were thoroughly loyal and consistent well-wishers of the government. They're not going to go against the government. They want to be followers of the government because they think that it is the government which is then further going to modernize the entire Indian society. Indian society is backward, yes, and it's the government, it is the English government which is then going to make them modern, and it has to be a collaboration between the two, and Indian National Congress is going to be a bridge between the Indian masses and the colonial government to create a more structured formation of development of Indian nation. All that it wanted was the basis of the government should be widened. So what they really Congress wanted is more representation in the government. So policy making, or in terms of how the government is ruling, what laws are to be made, what new policies are to be created, they just wanted to be a part of it. And people at large, since they represented the large masses from every region, thus they wanted to be part of this. They did not want it to disrupt the British government, rather they want to be a part of it so they can then get the ideas of the people to the colonial government. So this was the ideology on which the foundation of Congress was based. Now, the composition of Congress. It is argued that the lawyers predominated in the Congress. Most of the people of the Congress were lawyers. 39 out of the 72 initial members were lawyers, and in later part we will find that 1/3 of the delegates of the Congress belongs to legal profession. W.C. Banerjee was one of the 4 barristers of the country, and thus he was also a very well-known law professional. And later on, also we will find most of the presidents and most of the members of the Indian National Congress were lawyers. The old aristocracy, people like Rajas, Maharaja, big zamindars, and very wealthy merchants were conspicuous by their absence. They did not participate in Indian National Congress sessions, initial sessions. They rather kept themselves away. Nor did the peasants or artisans felt attracted towards it. So the aristocracy was trying to keep themselves away from it because they thought that this is going to be a way in which they were able to come into loggerheads with the British government, which they did not want to do. Peasants and artisans did not get associated with the entire ideology of Congress because this was the organization of educated men who have English education, and they talked about theories and ideas which were prevalent in the Western society, which the peasants and artisans could not associate. So they always remained away from the Indian National Congress. And also we find that the Congress also wanted, the initial leaders also wanted the masses to be not part of the Congress because they were not very sure with the ideology of the masses. The first session of Indian National Congress, there were 9 resolutions that were adopted. The first resolution was to put forward appointment of a Royal Commission for inquiring into Indian affairs, of which Indian would be adequately represented. So a Royal Commission should be placed, which would inquire in British Parliament, which is going to inquire about what are the Indian affairs, and Indian should be part of this Royal Commission, giving the British Parliament an idea that what exactly do Indians want. The other resolution demanded abolition of Indian Council of the Secretary of State for India. So they wanted the Secretary of State of Indian Council to be abolished. The Congress wanted the Secretary of State should be responsible directly to the British Parliament. So the Council should be removed. Viceroy should directly be reporting it to the Parliament. There was also a resolution on foreign policy which condemned annexation of Upper Burma because a lot of military resources was being exploited, and also they felt that foreign policy in matters of foreign policy also India should have certain voice. Other resolution covered subject as liberalizing the constitution and functions of the central and provincial legislative councils. They should be given more power. Holding of simultaneous examination for civil service in Britain and India. So this actually became a successful part of Indian National Congress in moderate time period, that they were able to ensure that Indian civil services also happen in India, and to need to reduce expenditure on army because a lot of money was being spent in the army because of annexation, the colonial annexation that was happening. So they wanted to reduce the expenditure in the army. Now, these were the 9 resolutions that happened in the first session. Before dispersing, the Congress took 2 more decisions. First was that an attempt should be made to get resolutions passed as at the Congress session, ratified by political association throughout the country. That there should be a motion that all the people in the country are agreeing to. Second, the next Congress session would meet at December 28th in 1886 at Calcutta. So decided when the next session of Congress is going to happen. So this was not just a one-time affair, it's going to continue happening. Now, the reason for the foundation of Indian National Congress, several scholars have described various reasons for the foundation of Indian National Congress. There are certain who say that it was a safety valve theory, certain say that it was ambition of the Indian elite, and certain say that it was because there was need of development of such organization. Now, what is the safety valve theory? Safety valve theory say that there was a lot of discontentment that was growing amongst the Indian educated men, and the Britishers were very scared from the revolt of 1857, and to curb this growing discontentment, a little niche was cut for them. So it's something like you are trying to pacify. It was just made to pacify the resistance, that we are understanding that you require political platform, and we are providing it to you. But that does not mean they're trying to ensure that they remain loyal. This discontentment does not grow to an extent that it comes out as a revolt. So it is said that the British government felt that growing discontent amongst the educated Indians had accumulated, and this could pose a threat to the continuation of British rule. The memories of the Great Revolt of 1857 were still fresh. Hume himself has said that his aim was to use his own expression as safety valve, providing control to the greater growing forces generated by the British themselves. They have created it on themselves. The English educated, because they were providing them English education, they are then getting affected by the nationalistic ideology. So thus, this is how it's going to, this is trying to curb it. However, this is something that historians have also debated, that if that was an ideology, then how did the emergence of nationalism, and it was not something, the Britishers did not, or Congress did not lead to development of national consciousness. Rather, national consciousness happened, and that led to development of all these that led to development of Indian National Congress. So putting a lot of stress only on the role of the Britishers in the creation of this party would not be justified, because we've already seen that Indians have started creating their own organization. This was a more legitimized or more pan-Indian sort of a party, but Indians would have eventually come up to that level, because we have already seen regionalistic parties developing. Ambition and rivalries of Indian elite, it's considered that Indian National Congress was in some way not really national, that it was a movement of self-interested individual, and that it functioned as a vehicle for the pursuit of their material interest and parochial rivalries. So there was a lot of rivalries, there was a lot of growth of personal ambition, and that led to creation of National Congress. Rather, it was not national in nature. However, this view has been criticized, that the founders of the Indian National Congress and various other organizations were inspired by idealism, loftiness of nationalistic vision, because of which the interest of self, family, caste, and community was subordinated to the interest of Indian nation. Now, all of them have gotten together, barring their regionalistic ideology, because already we had regionalistic centers that have developed. However, the need for a pan-Indian conference was created, because all these educated Indians have realized that if they ever wanted to make their country into an ideal, to reach the level of the European greatness, they have to create a national unity, national identity, which is going to surpass family, caste, and community lines, and thus a political organization is much needed. Need for an all India body. During the 1880s, as we have seen, the idea of national organization was much in the air. Given to the emergence of a countrywide educated class, the idea they expressed an organizational development that had taken place. It was only a matter of time before a national body was created. The Indian National Congress represented the culmination of an awareness amongst educated groups of the need to work together for a political purpose. So ultimately, historians have argued that it was the need that an all India body needs to be created if the national unity or national consciousness that people are talking about had to move the masses, then a national party was required, and Indian National Congress then stepped on and then filled those shoes and created a framework for people from all across the country to come and share their ideas. So Imagine if you have Savarkar in Deccan talking about, or in the region of Maharashtra talking about national unity. India has an antecedent. It is national identity is there in our past, and you have somebody like Radhakumar Mukherjee in Bengal talking the same thing. How are these two people going to then share their ideas? They can only share it through the network of this Indian National Congress. And that's how ideas from various regions then created an idea of Indian nation. With this, we come to an end of the foundation of Indian National Congress. Next, we are going to discuss in another lecture the rise of extremists and the moderates. Okay, with that, thank you, students, and I hope you read the material as well along with these slides. Thank you.